you're going to be tuning into this weekend's fight, here's a tip. Check out my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. Upgrade your fight experience this weekend with the official sports betting partner of UFC. Are you new to DraftKings? Check this out. New customers that bet just $5 will instantly get $150 in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the code SONNEN. DraftKings, the crown is yours. That's right. New customers can bet just $5 on anything and receive $150 in bonus bets instantly. DraftKings is giving new customers a shot to get in on the action all night long. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. DraftKings is the one-stop shop for all things daily fantasy where you have the chance to win cash prizes. Don't miss out on all the action this week at DraftKings. Download the DraftKings app today. Sign up using dkng.co/Sonnen or through my promo code SONNEN, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Conor McGregor, your time in the octagon will come to an end. You will soon be a distant memory. You have vastly overestimated your importance to this game for a decade. That was Michael Chandler. Posted that on social media. Now, is that Michael Chandler moving on? Is that Michael Chandler getting aggressive? I feel that Michael Chandler is in a position to feint tremendous power. He didn't have that. Michael Chandler had to get knocked around. He had to get knocked around. I'll let you know when the date is. I'll let you know if the date is going to come. By the way, feel free to go and do something else anytime you want. If you do make that choice, I will never talk about you again. You and I on the same docket will be this. So now you got Chandler locked into it. Okay, I won't talk about anybody else. I'm going to be laser focused, and this is what I want. And by the way, I'll let you know the weight class. I'll let you know everything. And Chandler was more than happy to play along. Go, okay. Now that was as a way of letting him know, if I'm not going to flinch, you're not going to get away from this. I will go anywhere and I will follow you anywhere. That was the effort. But over a period of time, it was very clear who was pulling the strings and who was dancing to it. Now, one thing that Conor has always done so well is to get information before you guys have it and then come out with a narrative himself so that that has the appearance that he is the one that controlled those decisions, even though the decisions were made by someone else, right? But Conor's always been a master of it. He's been a master of feinting power. He'll tell a guy right to his face in front of the world and everyone, this is your time to dispute this. I'm your daddy. You do what I say. You will get on your knees and you will beg me. That is your time to dispute it. Now, even if none of it's true, he has caught you off guard, and so you don't dispute it. And the cameras go off and the piece gets put out, and there is Conor once again feinting power. It's a great move. It's one of the great things that he's done. I will only share for you, I believe Michael Chandler is now in that spot. And it's not that Chandler has the power, neither did Conor. I'm saying he's in the spot to make the other one believe you're going to dance to me. You're going to be a forgotten man. You're going to retire. You're going to leave. You've overestimated yourself. You're going to come to me. You're going to crawl to me. I'm going to be here and you're going to be gone. You got to understand, Michael Chandler can say and do anything he wants. And this is the one thing that Chandler is finally realizing this. I can do and say anything. Right? This is the oldest story in the world of Adam and Eve. Just don't eat the fruit from this tree. Chandler can do anything. He can speak in any way. He does not need to be nice. He does not need to be polite. He does not need to agree on any weight classes. He can do anything except eat the fruit from the tree. And what is it in this case? Take another fight. The only way Conor McGregor will be released from the obligation of fighting Michael Chandler in Conor McGregor's very next fight, the only way is if Chandler takes another fight, then the deal is off. But that is the only thing that kills the deal. Now, it is true, Chandler might not get that fight. He might be waiting another 5 years and end up looking like a fool, but that isn't the criteria I laid out for you. If Conor fights again, his next opponent will be Michael Chandler. There will be no exceptions made. But that deal is off if Michael Chandler chooses to take another fight. Now, it might be Chandler and it might be somebody else, but it will not be locked in. And Conor is asking to fight. He does want to fight. We've not had a situation like this in UFC history. Anytime we've had anything that even resembles trying to get a fight together that's not coming together, It has not only gotten publicly and ugly, it's gotten there within a minute. There is no downtime, and that's just not what happened. Dana White is simply not upset with Conor McGregor. He's just not. And he is not accusing Conor of being the one to hold up the fight. Conor McGregor wants something different than what Dana is doing, but Conor has not gotten upset with Dana. He has not said anything along these lines. He has not made any threats. Michael Chandler appears to not have as much inside scoop as I think many times we think. I don't know that there is big of a behind-the-scenes conspiracy as many have believed. I think it's pretty straightforward of just trying to get guys to come together. And they do agree on some parts. They do agree this is the opponent, this is the weight class, it's going to be 5 rounds, it's going to be their unified rules, it's going to be in this organization. Like, they do have a lot of the same parts there. But the story of Conor McGregor, for the entire career of Conor McGregor, has been misunderstood, and the story is currently being mistold. I am in support of Michael Chandler continuing to mistell it, because I also believe there is a sincerity that Conor McGregor would like to do this again. And therefore, Michael now has the power. That's it. Every relationship, from personal to business, one person will care more, and that person is at a disadvantage. The person who cares less, and I'm not saying you're careless, I'm saying that you care less, that person now has the power. And I'm only sharing for you that I do take Conor at his word. I believe Conor wants to fight in December. I believe Conor wanted to fight June 29th. I believe Conor was open to rushing this thing and getting in there for UFC 300, of which was impossible due to a deal that the UFC had made publicly with USADA, which was, you have a bylaw, and we're just not going to contest it. We're gonna do it the way that you want, even though you're gone. We're still going to follow that. We're not admitting that you're interpreting that right, which in my own opinion, I don't believe USADA did interpret that right. I'm talking about the 6-month return rule. I don't believe they did interpret that right. But they still said it's what they want to do, and the UFC still said, and that's what we're gonna do, not because we agree. That is what we're gonna do. So I'm sharing with you that Conor's hands really were clean, and that's part of the story that's getting mistold. But I'm all for Chandler taking his shot and continuing to mistell it. Chandler can do anything he wants. He realized I don't have to be nice. I don't have to be anything. The only thing I have to do is not take another fight. Conor can talk about other guys. I'm talking about Chandler, rather. He can do interviews on other guys. He can get an angle going with somebody else. The deal and the policy that if Conor returns, he will do it opposite Chandler and absolutely nobody else is very firm. It's very firm. And there's only one thing that will get you off it. That is Chandler saying, I'm done waiting, give me another opponent. And I realize I've repeated that. But you need to understand that message, because this is what Chandler is now starting to understand. He's starting to tell Conor, and he's starting to speak about Conor in past tense. He's starting to threaten Conor and tell him that he does not have a legacy around here, that he will be forgotten, that he will be a distant memory, that he's overestimated himself in the first place. This is great. This is really, really great stuff. And there are a number of people that would finally come to Chandler and go, yeah, you're right. Hey, by the way, nobody really wanted to see this fight in the first place. There are a number of people that would do that. You just get stopped because we have evidence of a $25+ million gate. Apparently, it's not accurate. Apparently, people still really do want to see Conor McGregor. But I am sharing with you, if it came to an end, if it was over, the story would be mistold. It would be mistold if you don't understand that Conor is trying to fight. He, I believe, is very sincere in wanting the December date. I believe he was very sincere in the June 29th date. Now, to pull out of a fight for a discolored pinky toe, which may or may not be yours, I mean, it's one of those tough spots. How bad do you really want it, right? It's one of those things that you can feel free to ask. But I do think Chandler is going about it the right way. I think he does realize I don't have to be nice to him. He's not going anywhere else. He can't go anywhere else. Matter of fact, Mr. Powerful is begging for a date. And he's being told publicly no. It's a very different approach. We had never seen Conor on the back foot. No one could put him there, but they didn't put him there not because they didn't have the wits. Chandler has the wits. And Chandler had a plan. He was going to bring that plan out at a press conference in Ireland that ended up getting canceled. So we don't actually know what Michael had up his sleeve. But he's got something. And he's got a plan, and he's starting to fold it out. He's now done 2 interviews. 2 interviews. See, nobody's put Conor on the back foot, not because they weren't good enough. Chandler is good enough. Not because he's not smart enough. Chandler is smart enough. They haven't done it out of a fear. That fear created a respect. And the fear and the respect is Conor coming out and saying, you talked to me wrong, the whole thing's off. And you know I got the power to do it. I don't need you. This fight doesn't involve you. It involves me. This is my fight card, my gate, my fans, and I will pick a different partner. Conor has told people that before. And people have very quickly gotten into line, and that includes Chandler. That's true. That includes Chandler. But Mr. Nice Guy appears to have left town. And I am very interested in what Chandler's going to do next and how Conor's going to respond.